if you want to hear about our experience from the good, the bad, and the ugly of our trip to Greece this September, stay tuned. Take a look at this video. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Chris.
And I'm Trav.
And you're watching
Fake Rich and Tired.
And we are back for what I hope was a well-anticipated
much anticipated
recap of our 16th wedding anniversary trip to Greece. You all see we went to Santorini, Greece. We made sure we wore the hoodies just so y'all could see it. So if you want to hear about our experience from the good, the bad, and the ugly of our trip to Greece this September, stay tuned. Take a look at this video. Okay, so the first thing that we want to talk about for our trip.
What's the first thing?
Is the flight time.
Yes.
This time. So maybe you should talk more about the flight time.
So the flight time, I anticipated what it would be. I mean, obviously, when you're looking at your itinerary, you know how long you'll be in the air. However, you don't know that you're going to be in the air with two people on each side of you, fighting for elbow room and so on and so forth for 9 hours. Luckily, one of those two people was my wife, so I didn't have to fight the left side, but the right side, we definitely were jockeying for elbow room for 9 hours. The other difference is when I went to Thailand, I went business class, so I was able to sit in the booth and lounge back. But yeah.
I've never been overseas business class. This is my first time. It was coach. I watched movies to keep me occupied, slept the rest of the time.
Movies definitely help.
The movies help. We saw some really good movies. And then the food wasn't bad. So we had some pretty good breakfasts and dinners while we were on the flight. So I think that was a good experience as well.
And if you go, do your best to reduce the amount of layovers. That'll help. All right, number 2, Santorini Greece recap. For me, was the rude people. When we got off the flight in Greece, aside from everything, all of the signage being, the English version was extremely small. So, you literally have to sit there like a tourist in order to find your way anywhere. But also, when asking people, their responses were extremely rude. So for me, you may experience that.
The customer service people were rude. So we're not even just talking about the people there in Greece who were like the people in town. They were fine.
Yeah.
Some of the people at the hotel were a little bit rude too. We'll talk about some
of
of
the
that
customer service people.
It was the customer service people, extremely rude. We got off the flight. We didn't know whether we were supposed to go in one line or the other. And everything was in Greek, so we were like, hey, we have to transfer, where do we go? And she was like, get in line or something. I'm like, which line, lady? So the rude people was definitely a highlight of the trip.
Yeah.
So the third thing that we want to talk about for a recap from our trip is the accommodation. So we heard a lot about this while we were down there and communicating with different people, but we stayed in a resort just a little bit off town. So we were very close to town, but just a little bit off town.
Yeah.
And it was really quiet. It wasn't our usual like turn up hotel. It was like almost like a retirement resort. Like you go by the pool, like it's a bunch of old people tanning. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
So we talked to a lot of people who had like Airbnbs and that were in town, that were, overlooking the mountains and things.
Yeah.
And I think that if we go back, we might change that to that type of experience.
Absolutely.
Because when we went into town, we saw those and I was like, I would love to be sleeping here.
Yeah. I think hearing the different stories, there's a different dynamic to each one, to the hotel versus an Airbnb versus the hotels that are in town. All of them have their draw, I guess, but I'm definitely down with trying something different next time. Number 4, numero 4, the food. The food was outstanding. As a kid who was in Chicago for so long, I'm accustomed to great food, especially great Greek food. Greece did not disappoint. You know how, a lot of things in the States are different than its home country. The Grecian food, in my opinion, was spot on. I can't say much more. It was spot on for me.
I actually think some of it was better. So we had a good experience. Definitely. At first, we started out at the hotel. We went to the buffet the first night, and we were like, like this is not gonna work. So we walked into town and we found a couple spots, and then we ran into like a Nick's gyros. Now, anybody from Chicago, y'all know we go get our gyros from Nick's. Yeah. And it's gyros, but in Chicago we call it gyros. So we went to a Nick's and we ended up getting a couple gyros, and we was like, this is the spot. Yeah. And we ended up going there like 2 or 3 more times throughout the whole trip. Absolutely. Because it was so good. So
and affordable.
And it was affordable. Yeah, it wasn't like a tourist pricing. Like a euro with fries and a soda was like $7. Yeah. Or like it was
one
€9.
Chicken skewer was $2 or something like that.
Yeah, like it was very reasonable. So we never ate at the hotel after that. We were always in town. The other thing that I wanted to point out though, somebody told me make sure to try the Greek yogurt. And Greek yogurt in Greece absolutely is nothing like here.
And what do they call it in Greece?
Greek yogurt.
Greek yogurt.
It was Greek yogurt. And so we actually went to a froyo place. And like, man, it's just like in the States where you go get the froyo and you choose what flavors you want from the machines and you put your toppings on. It was amazing. So if you're ever in Greece, make sure you get you some Greek froyo.
Absolutely.
So the next part of our recap, I want to talk about the shopping because it's me. I do the shopping all the time. Yes. And so the first thing I will say is every time we go anywhere, all of our travel destinations, I make sure that my husband takes me to Pandora to get the local Pandora charm. And so I was like, well, we're going to be in Greece, so there's no Pandoras. Thankfully, we found Nick the jeweler. Yeah. And Nick the jeweler...
I guess Nick is a common name.
I guess.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think Nick is a pretty common Greek name. We found Nick the jeweler. We walked in, and I was like, do you have Pandora charms? I mean, the biggest case in there is Pandora. Yeah. I was like, please show me your local charm. So he had a Santorini charm. So I was still able to get my charm, which was great. Yes. Then again, we were in the city. And so it was almost like an outdoor type of mall. Yes. They had an Adidas there. They had all types of shops. Everything. And he got me a new ring there. Like we did a lot of shopping.
A lot of shopping. It was fun. I mean, the prices were extremely reasonable, especially for a tourist area. Right, we got the white linen, the wonderful olive oil. It's so much that we picked up. We had to make sure to dump stuff out of our suitcases just to make sure we could bring it back. So shopping there was phenomenal. I would definitely suggest it. Make sure you take enough money. Make sure you do the currency exchange or whatever so you have your euros. But yeah, definitely do the shopping. So this next topic on the list is one of the very few downfalls of us visiting Santorini, Greece. And it was the bugs. Listen, over the course of probably 2 consecutive days, I couldn't sleep because I was in the bathroom fighting bugs. I was in...
Mosquitoes, so let's specify.
They're mosquitoes, but... So we went to one of the local shops, and, I'm itching and all of that good stuff, and I mentioned it, and she said, well, are you sure they're mosquitoes? It's that time of year. I didn't know what the hell that meant, but it just had me on high alert from that point. I'm putting on all type of ointments and sprays and all of that good stuff only to still be fighting them. Even got the little green coils that you burn. Like, you know, listen, the bugs tore me up. 32 mosquito bites by the time I left. No exaggeration.
Okay, number 7 of 10 of our trip highlight, the volcano site.
Yes.
So at first we were not going to do this, but it was our last day there, and I was like, I want to do something different. And so we decided to take a boat out to the last active volcano on the island. Yes. It was hot. That's the first thing I would say. It was hot. And we had to hike for half an hour.
Yes.
Up the volcano.
Yes.
But it was one of the most beautiful views I have ever seen in my life.
It was amazing.
I was nervous about going on the volcano, but it wasn't bad. I mean, you can kind of smell the sulfur. You can see smoke.
Not kind of.
It was strong. It was strong. And you could see the smoke coming out of the ground. You could, like, under your feet, it felt hot. But like we didn't see like
it wasn't like lava overflowing or anything like that. It's just it was a cool experience because of what you got to see, but also the history behind a lot of it. If any of you guys are like me, you hate doing all of the excursions and stuff like that because you don't want to tie up your day feeling like you're working just to get back to the hotel and now it's time to go to bed. On this particular day, I could have stayed out there forever. The boat ride there was dope. The boat ride back was dope. We had to make it dope. There was some rude people on there as well. People didn't want people sitting next to them. When we got on the Sky Train thing, there were people, no, you can't sit with us. And, you know, they weren't talking to us.
But we let somebody else sit with us.
Would have been a totally different trip
because somebody wouldn't let her sit with them.
Yeah, but overall, dope. Volcanoes. The island itself is built from the lava from previous.
The last eruption, which was in 1956, I think they said.
Something like that. Yeah. So it's amazing history behind it. So I would suggest to check that out. But yes, that was dope.
Okay, number 8.
Listen, whew. You hear it in rap songs. You see it on different TV shows where they show extravagant places to visit and et cetera, et cetera. So number 8, we're going to talk about the beaches. Literally, black sand beaches specifically. Now, aside from the beauty of black sand beaches, because it is extremely beautiful, can you give me a downfall? Is there a downfall? There's a downfall.
That sand is hot.
Cooking.
It's like walking on hot coals.
Yes.
When y'all talk about walking on the burning sand, it's like that's what, I'm like, that's what walking on the burning sand is.
Listen, when I tell you, and for some reason, there's a little bit of stupid that jumped out of me because I had my Crocs on, and I'm like, it's sand. Let me just take my shoes off and go ahead. Listen, worst mistake ever. That sand was blazing hot. Like, I literally just lounged in the cabana thing all day because I didn't want to get up and walk on the sand. But anyway.
So, yeah, once we rented our cabana, we got our bottle of Prosecco.
Yeah.
We chilled. We had our umbrella up.
We had our jack that we snuck in.
Hey, don't tell them that part.
They don't know.
The people at Santorini might be watching this.
We love you. We love you.
So, we had our Prosecco. And the flask
bag
on the side, yeah. But it just laying there and just sitting and watching the sea and listening to the waves and just seeing, like, man, that's my first time seeing black sand in person. Yeah. And it was a beautiful experience. So I highly recommend visiting the beaches. I forgot the name of the beach that we went to, but if you ever go to Santorini, ask the locals because there are specific beaches and specific reasons. We missed one that I wanted to go to. Well, I'm talking about the black sand, but we missed the white sand beach.
Yeah.
And there's one specifically where they take the volcanic ash that has come up and you collect it for pumice. And that's what they sell. That's how they make pumice stones. And I wanted to go there just to give me a pumice stone. I was going to sneak it in my bag, but we didn't make it to that one. So ask the locals if you ever go which beaches to go to and why, they'll tell you. It's quick bus ride. Y'all can go. Okay, so next to last, number 9.
Number 9.
But we talked about the volcanoes and the beaches. To go with that, the views were outstanding. So
crazy.
I am big on views. I was excited about moving down here because of views of the mountains, and I get so excited about seeing that. And the views in Santorini did not disappoint. When you walk out of our hotel, like literally, you can see all the mountains. You can see the volcanic site that we visited. The sunrise and sunsets are just
amazing.
Like people say it as a cliche, breathtaking. Like I literally was breathtaken by.
It will stop you in your tracks.
When I woke up one morning, like I was like, I gotta make sure I'm up early enough for the sunrise, and I will wake up every morning early to wait for the sunrise. And it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So if you are in Greece, make sure to catch the sunrise and the sunset every night.
Specifically,
they have dinner. Santorini, yes. And they have like spots where you can have like dinner. They have cruises, sunset cruises where you can see everything. So take advantage of those because you get some amazing views and amazing pictures from just the sunrise and sunset. And there are more views than that, but those were the most breathtaking for me.
I agree. I think with everything that she just said, I think it's time for us to just go ahead and jump into number 10 because it's a perfect segue. Number 10 is the photos. Listen, the photo opportunities that we had were truly amazing. A lot that we took on our own and a lot that we had in the package that we purchased or whatever, but literally you can't go wrong either way. If you're a photographer, take your camera. You are gonna come back with some money shots. Extra memory cards, outfits, whatever it is. Like literally, the views. I don't care where you go. Just based on our experience, wherever you go, the photo opportunities are endless. They are completely amazing. But more so, or more importantly, I think the photos that my wife took was amazing. More her, it was like 90-10.
So I'm in a lot of travel groups on Facebook, and one of the travel groups talked about the flying dress experience, which I had just kind of bypassed, never paid attention to, but one of my coworkers was like, oh, you got to do a dress thing when you go to Greece. And I'm like, okay, let me go back and look at this. So I looked at it. I was like, okay, cool. Researched it. And I was like, yep, I got to do this. It's my 16th wedding anniversary. This was just a huge trip for us in a lot of different ways. We talked about just rebuilding, just re-loving each other, just transformation, so much. And I was like, if we gonna do this, we going all out. So my absolute favorite part of this trip is absolutely the photo shoot with Flying Dress Santorini, or flying. I'll link them in the description. The whole experience was amazing. I don't even want to go through everything because I don't want to make this too long, because I want to get to what I know a lot of you all have been waiting for, which is our photos, because we've been putting out teasers for the last month. But I mean, from the makeup artist, she was amazing. Her and my husband had the greatest conversation while she was in my room. They sent her to my room to do my makeup and everything. And then they came and picked us up. They took us into town, just seeing the views in town, because we did a sunset photo shoot. And seeing the views in town. They treated us, he feels like me, but they treated us like king and queen. And we took the most amazing poses and photos. And I will never forget the experience. I felt like royalty during that experience.
It was definitely a fun experience. I mean, even down to the person who was helping.
Demetrius. I can't remember the assistant's name. It starts with a T. We gonna call him T.
I forget his name.
He was
yeah,
dope.
We'll call him T.
He gave us all the history.
And he was so hyped up about Chief Keef. Like, I mean,
Wait, Demetrius, I know you're gonna see this video. Please tag him in this video so we can shout him out. So when we told him we were from Chicago, he was like, "Do you know Chief Keef?" So keep going, keep talking about that.
No, go ahead.
I know you were going there.
Go ahead. The fact that he knew about him, and we kind of. It was a super dope experience. That's pretty much what I was just trying to get out. It was a super dope experience. The fact that someone all the way on this island that's 9 hours plus away, this is the type of thing that, this is the type of culture that they're adopting, so to speak. And he even said it. He's like, we do everything like you guys do. Drill music, trap music, and all of that good stuff. So that was just super dope to hear. Being from Chicago, all of that good stuff, it was just super dope to hear. And it was just a refreshing breath of air to have somebody treating us the way they were. It was just super, super dope. I would encourage anybody to go. If you're down, like if you feel down, there's no way you could feel down visiting Santorini, doing the flying dress experience. But like, it's so much there. Like I mean, like, talk about a breath of fresh air when it comes to life itself. Visit Santorini, Greece. That's my take on it. But
absolutely. So to recap, those are the 10 things that we want to share with you about our trip experience, but we don't want to hold you all up anymore. We want to share with you just some of the photos that we took ourselves, as well as a lot of the photos from our Santorini photo shoot for our 16th wedding anniversary.
16 years.
16 years, and we are still going.
Yeah.
And we want you all to view these photos and see our experience and feel this experience, and go back to one of those tips that we shared in our marriage tips video to travel. Because this trip was just such a beautiful time for us, and we got to find out so much about ourselves during this trip. But no further ado, y'all. Take some time, take a look at our photos. Don't forget to like this video, share it with somebody that you love. Even if you don't like them, share it anyway. And make sure you subscribe, guys. We still have a goal of 1,000 subscribers. We got to 500, thank y'all.
Already hit the 50.
So halfway there. So thank you all so much for loving us, sharing our journey with us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. And now for the feature presentation.
Photos of Santorini, Greece.
Enjoy.
Thank